Howdy folks, Kathy Williams-DeVries here from Brisbane, Australia, as you can tell by my accent. I've been asked to do a tutorial on flight of the Bumble Bee. Now there are various editions. I'm using the Voxman edition put out by Rubank, which has no sharps or flats. I do have another one, I think, edited by Height that is in D major, but which is considerably harder. So this particular one has been transcribed by H.W. Davis. Now, I've said this in several of my videos, but I don't mind repeating myself because this is the cornerstone of what makes me a good clarinet player. Is the best way to get a fast bumblebee is to start with a slow bumblebee. And I know that sounds really simple, and it is really that simple. I've seen videos by Itzhak Perlman say exactly the same thing. If you can't do it slowly, then you certainly can't do it quickly. So what you do is you get your trusty metronome. I have a Boss Dr. Beat DB30, which does the trick quite well. Now, what I'll do is I'll play it at 120. I'll see if that's too fast. It may be too fast. I might take it back to 100. But I'm going to go through it and you'll see me gradually get faster. No, I'll take it at 100. I'll take it at 100. And I'll give you little tips on what fingerings to use, and maybe note, because you're going to need to drop notes because there's absolutely nowhere to breathe that just keeps going. Okay, so let's take it at 100. So we're absolutely steady. And here I would use your left hand E flat simply because it keeps it all in the one hand. And what I would do if you're practicing this is actually to repeat those two bars, because they actually are quite difficult, because you can go and you may find it easier to use the right hand E flat. I prefer to keep it in the one hand, but to practice it, or you can practice it actually, you know what, I think I prefer the right hand E flat simply because it doesn't mean there's so much messing with the left hand, because the left hand is usually a little bit dodgy. I find it a bit dodgy anyway. Actually, there is an excellent study for the left hand which you can find in the Longinus Complete Method for the Clarinet Part 3. There's many very good exercises in here, but what I particularly like is exercise, is the study for the left hand, exercise 10. I found that when I was getting a bit stressed when I was doing the Mio concerto and my left hand wasn't working as well as I wanted to, that I went through this study for the left hand. So it's really brilliant. And it's absolutely brilliant. So that's the study for the left hand, exercise 10 in the Longinus Complete Method Part 3. So, but that's getting off the point. So either use the left hand E flat or the right hand. I'm actually preferring the right hand E flat simply because it gives the left hand a little bit of a break. And then we come to figure 1. Okay, so let's just get that metronome happening again. And I do prefer at 1 to keep it all in the left hand. It's a really good exercise. You can just keep practicing it over and over. So I would suggest practicing those bits over and over until they're absolutely perfect. And it's a brilliant left hand exercise. And then it departs from the chromatic slightly. Oops. So again, practice that a few times because you do depart from the chromatic. Make sure that you go to the F sharp instead of the F natural. It is very natural to go to the F natural. You need to go to the F sharp. So and again, very, very good left hand exercise. I would practice it over and over and over. I have flirted with the idea of playing the B flat with the A and side key. Jury's out. It's hard either way. Certainly in the next line I would. Maybe if this is the 4th line. And practice that a few times because that also, let me just turn the aircon on. That also is a very good left hand exercise for the throat tones. So actually the lines 2, 3, 4 and 5, I would just practice this because those are probably the hardest lines because you're dealing with the left hand and you're dealing with the throat tones and they're really yucky. And I know it says double P at 1, ignore that while you're practicing. So just practice it over and over. So the 2 bars before 1. Before. So this line here, I would use the side B flat, and then you've got an ossia, so you can either go but I prefer to play the ossia, which is and you're going to have to drop some notes here. I would suggest and I would actually mark that in the part. I know I have a pencil somewhere. It doesn't seem to be on the stand today. And then it gets easier. Oops, let's try try that again. It's been a while since I've played this, but that's the important thing about playing it slowly, is that if you're not sure of the notes, you know, and I mean, I'm taking it at 100, take it at 80, doesn't matter. I mean, this is just you in your practice room, unless you're a bit of an exhibitionist and, you know, you win no prizes for practicing something fast if you can't play it. And that's as simple as it gets. Follow? And again, I would use the left hand D sharp. And again, I would practice that a few times. Etc. That's a good couple of bars to practice as well. And I would breathe there. And remember here that we depart from the chromatic. And again we depart from the chromatic here. Lots of support here. Big breath here. And again, departs from the chromatic here if you're doing a repeat. And we depart from the chromatic here at the second time bar. We depart from the chromatic there as well. So that's slow. Let me bump it up to 120. I'll see how fast I can get this actually today, given that I haven't played it in a while. So this is at 120. Nah, maybe not. Breathe there. Etc. Look, what I've given you the basic ways of practicing this piece. I don't think you need to hear me stumble my way through it. that you really centre the E, because it might want to come out as an A if you're not careful. So really centre the E. Etc. Let me just bump it up to 140 just for interest sakes to see if I still got it. Okay, so I can still do it at 140. The only bit that's dodgy is the beginning, and that's the bit you really need to practice slow quite a few times. So that's my take on Flight of the Bumble Bee. If you have further questions, do not hesitate to contact me on any number of my email addresses: kathleenwilliams76@bigpond.com, webclarinetist@gmail.com, even Brisbane Clarinetist at gmail.com. And I'll be uploading this on Kathy Williams-76 and Web Clarinet Lessons. So I hope that's been of some use to you. And you may see additional videos of me practicing this piece to see how fast I can get it in a practice session. So I might be able to get it up to 160 if I practice really hard. But thanks for listening, hope you got something out of it, and bye for now.